Hey folks, this is Billy DKY, the truth seeker that simplifies and demystifies. This is going to be UFC 108 predictions. Joe Lauzon versus Sam Stout, and it's only going to be those two people talking about in this prediction. I think what I'm going to start doing is just doing each fight individually, and then just have a big playlist, and people can go there and watch them all at once if they want. But we'll just see how it all goes. It's an evolutionary process. Okay. I see this being an interesting fight. I see both of these guys pretty much on the same level, except they bring a different skill set. I see Sam Stout is more of a tough guy, probably can deal with pain more than Joe Lauzon. But I see Joe Lauzon as being a more intuitive guy, going to have a better strategy. You know, he's got that real. He comes at you with that very quick, intuitive pace at the beginning, but if you make it past that, then you probably got a pretty good chance of winning over him. I think that's how Joe Lauzon pretty much goes. Joe Lauzon really reminds me a lot of myself, because that's how I think I would fight. If you made it through the first minute or two, you probably got a real good chance of beating me, but you might not have a good chance of doing that. It sure didn't hurt Joe Lauzon's career to beat Jens Pulver. I mean, it's made him definitely a big name, probably bigger than his skill set at this point in his career. But anyway, I think this fight all boils down to Joe Lauzon is better on the ground than Sam Stout. And I'm not convinced Sam Stout can keep him from taking the ground. However, if he can, then that's going to be a tough night for Joe Lauzon. But I really see Joe striking with him at the beginning, and then setting up a takedown when Sam, overcommits with a punch and just taking the ground, and then doing some kind of submission. Because I know Joe Lauzon is a thinker. He's going to have it all. He's going to have it chest moved out before he steps in the ring. He's going to say, "Well, this is what he wants to do. This is his tendencies. This is what I would do to counter it," and blah blah blah. And he's going to be real explosive in the beginning, and I think. Or not so much explosive in the sense of knocking you out, but more very intuitive at the beginning. And if his plan doesn't go away once, then it could be a very tough night for him. Okay, but I think Joe can hang with Sam on the feet for at least a while. But why face Sam Stout's strong stand-up when you can face his weak ground game? At least from my recalling of his fights, his game is pretty weak. But and that's where I go back to the wisdom of use your energy wisely, and that goes to a point that Sun Tzu had said as well: avoid what is strong and attack what is weak. So the ego wants to do the exact opposite. No, I want to show him I can stand with him. Forget about that. That's just a bunch of ego, get you hurt. How could Joe win? I think the most likely way for Joe to win this fight is by submission, which I've already alluded to that. Maybe on the feet, but I doubt it after watching Sam Stout and Spencer Fisher, go at it for 3 rounds. It's Sam Stout can take a punch. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see that happening. He could win a decision, but I don't see him winning one. He like I said, he's a very intuitive guy. He's very intuitive and overwhelms guys in the first few moments of a fight with speed and strategy. If you survive that onslaught, then it can be hard for him to finish them, which I alluded at the beginning. So let's move on to Sam Stout. How could Sam Stout win? Obviously, Sam Stout could win on the feet by knocking him out, either one punch. I don't see it so much. He don't seem like a one punch knockout kind of guy. It seems like a multiple punches, just beat you down kind of power or striking. So I see it most likely on the feet. If he keeps the fight on the feet, I can see him win a decision with superior strike skills, which I've alluded at as well. I do not see him submitting Joe Lauzon at all, because Joe had trained with BJ Penn, and I'm pretty sure his ground game is going to be up to par. I mean, you ain't going to train ground game with BJ Penn and not really have at least a decent ground game, or at least the best ground game you can have. Things to consider. Joe has trained with BJ Penn in the past, which we all seen on the Ultimate Fighter. Plus, I think he went down after the Ultimate Fighter and trained with BJ Penn, which that's got to be an awesome experience for a young mixed martial artist to get to train with somebody at that level, that caliber of. Just to see what the next caliber is, to realize, you know, don't get caught in the illusion that you're great when you see somebody that truly is great. So I think that's probably a real feather in his hat. However, I've noticed in the past when BJ was in his corner, he was too worried about pleasing BJ Penn to fight his intuitive, strategic style like he did. I noticed he was too worried about pleasing BJ Penn to be in the moment like he should, and I think it's a real positive if he trains with BJ Penn. That is fine. However, if BJ Penn is in his corner, I see that being a real negative. You know, if BJ's in his corner hollering out advice, that to me is a big negative. So we'll just have to see who walks out with him that night on the fight. But I'm going to give Joe Lauzon a 60% chance of winning and Sam Stout a 40% chance of winning, just because, like I said, I think it's going to go to the ground and Joe will do something with him. Like I said, I think we'll start doing one video per fight, so I'm going to start a playlist in my channel. You can go there and just watch them all at once if you just happen to be the first one you've watched. And I will have a post-fight commentary 30 minutes to an hour after the fight, and you can go check that out. And if you wouldn't mind, please rate the video. Until the next video, later folks.